Today, when you stand outside and watch an airplane cross the sky, it feels normal. It feels like something only the modern world could create. But what if, 2,000 years ago, someone looked up at that same sky and saw something flying? No engines, no fuel, no electricity, no modern science, just a machine moving through the ancient sky. And before you say that's impossible, history actually suggests otherwise. Because scattered across the ancient world, archaeologists have found technology so precise, so advanced, that even today, with everything we know, we still can't fully explain them. Machines that shouldn't exist, structures that defy logic, inventions so far ahead of their time that at some point they just disappeared. No trace, no evolution, no explanation, like they were never meant to survive. What if I told you the first unmanned flying machine in history wasn't built in a modern laboratory but in an open Greek square 2,400 years ago? No fuel tank, no circuit board, no remote control, just wood, steam, and a mind so far ahead of its time that historians still argue about how he pulled it off. This is the story of Archytas of Tarentum and the world's first steam-powered drone. It's approximately 400 BC. Socrates has just died. Plato is writing. Aristotle is still a child. The most advanced flying objects known to humanity are arrows and thrown spears. The idea that a man-made object could sustain itself in the air, powered by a hidden internal mechanism, isn't just unprecedented, it's unthinkable. Archytas was not an average person. He was a philosopher-mathematician and elected military general of Tarentum, re-elected 7 consecutive times, breaking their own laws, just to keep him in command. A close friend of Plato, one of the founding fathers of mathematical mechanics. And at some point during his life, he built something no one before him had ever built. Ancient sources describe a mechanical bird, carved from lightweight wood, roughly the size of a real dove. And according to the historical record, it didn't glide. It flew, covering an estimated 200 meters, before its energy was exhausted. Inside the hollow wooden body was a pressurized steam chamber. Water was heated over fire, steam built up under pressure, and when released through a small rear-facing nozzle, the bird launched off its rail and cut through open air. That's Newton's third law of motion. Except, Archytas built it as a functioning machine roughly 2,000 years before Newton was born. In modern engineering terms, that's jet propulsion. The exact same principle behind every commercial aircraft, every rocket, and every gas-powered drone flying today. The wooden dove no longer exists. No blueprints, no diagrams, nothing physical has survived 24 centuries. But the idea survived. That stored energy, properly directed, can produce controlled mechanical flight. The Wright brothers proved it in 1903. NASA built entire space programs on it. Archytas was doing it in 400 BC. We didn't invent flight, we rediscovered it. Imagine attending a dinner party where the host introduces a servant who never tires, never spills a drop, and never needs to be paid. Not a human, not an animal, a machine. A human-shaped machine that reads the weight of your cup, calculates the perfect ratio of wine to water, and delivers your drink with mechanical precision. Every single time. This wasn't science fiction. This wasn't a concept sketch. It was built and demonstrated in Alexandria, Egypt in the 2nd century BC, by a Greek engineer named Philo of Byzantium. And it is, by any serious engineering standard, the world's first programmable automaton. Alexandria in the 2nd century BC was the intellectual capital of the ancient world. The Great Library was at its peak. Mathematicians, astronomers, and engineers gathered from across the Mediterranean. This was also the age of the Ptolemaic dynasty, rulers who expressed power not just through military force, but through technological spectacle. If you could build something that made your guests gasp, you were a man of consequence. Philo understood this perfectly. He was a prolific engineer whose surviving text, the Pneumatica, is one of the most important documents of ancient mechanical engineering ever written. And inside it, he describes something extraordinary. His automaton was a life-sized figure of a young woman, crafted from wood and covered in polished copper. She held a wine pitcher in her right hand. Her left arm was extended, palm up, ready to receive a guest's cup. When a guest placed an empty cup into her outstretched hand, she responded. Wine poured from the pitcher, stopping precisely at the halfway mark. Then, after a mechanical pause, water followed, filling the cup to the brim. When the guest lifted their drink away, she silently reset, ready for the next person. No human operator, no hidden assistant, nothing. The entire system ran on pneumatics, pressurized air interacting with sealed liquid tanks inside her torso. The lever in her palm was the brain. An empty cup depressed it slightly, opening the wine valve. As the cup grew heavier, the lever dropped further, closing wine, opening water. When the cup was lifted, a counterweight reset everything. Weight in, drink out, perfectly calibrated, every time. What Philo built wasn't a novelty. It was a programmable machine executing a conditional sequence. If the cup reaches a certain weight, switch from wine to water. Modern engineers call this a feedback control system. It's the exact same logic behind thermostats, autopilot systems, and industrial assembly lines. Philo built it in the 2nd century BC using nothing but geometry, fluid mechanics, and leverage. And here's what makes this undeniable. Philo left behind actual written technical documentation. Modern engineers have built working reconstructions from his description. It functions exactly as he described. This is not legend, not mythology. It's documented, reproducible ancient engineering, predating the modern concept of automation by 2,000 years. The next time a vending machine reads your input and delivers a pre-programmed result, that idea was born in ancient Alexandria. Philo didn't know he was inventing automation. He thought he was just building a very impressive party trick. History has a way of reframing things. In a museum in Washington, D.C., inside a climate-controlled case, sits a small wooden figure roughly 40 centimeters tall. It wears a real fabric monk's habit. It has articulated hands, painted glass eyes, and a hinged jaw. And if you wind a key into its back, it walks. It shifts weight, foot to foot, raises across to its lips, beats its chest in penitence, and moves its mouth as if reciting an eternal silent prayer. This is not a reproduction. It was built around 1560 in Habsburg, Spain, by an engineer named Juanelo Turriano, and it is the oldest known fully functional humanoid robot on Earth. It wasn't born in a laboratory. It was born from a king's desperation. Around 1562, Crown Prince Don Carlos, the sole heir to the Spanish throne, suffered a catastrophic head injury. He fell into a deep fever. Every physician in Europe said the same thing: he would not survive. King Philip II, in absolute desperation, fell to his knees and made a vow to God. If his son recovered miraculously, Philip would perform a miracle in return. Against all expectation, Don Carlos recovered. Philip now had a promise to keep, and he turned to the most brilliant engineer in his court. Juanelo Turriano was already legendary, a clockmaker, hydraulic engineer, and mathematician who had previously built one of the most complex mechanical clocks ever constructed. Philip's commission was simple: build something the world has never seen. So, Turriano built the monk. Beneath its woolen habit is a chassis of extraordinary mechanical density. A single wound iron mainspring stores energy. As it slowly uncoils, it drives a system of precisely shaped cam discs, metal plates with deliberately uneven edges, that press against levers in a specific calculated sequence. One cam controls the walking motion. Another raises the arm holding the cross. Another beats the chest. Another moves the jaw. Another shifts the eyes. All simultaneously, all coordinated, all from one energy source. Those cam discs are essentially hardware programming. Turriano didn't write code. He encoded behavior into the geometry of metal. Making a machine walk on two legs is, even today, one of robotics' hardest problems. Boston Dynamics spent decades solving it with modern computers and sensors. Turriano solved a version of it in the 1560s with iron cams and wooden levers, and the monk still works. Modern engineers at the Smithsonian have examined it. When the spring is wound with care for its age, it performs its full sequence, exactly as it did in Philip II's royal chambers, nearly 5 centuries ago. We think of robotics as a product of transistors and microprocessors. We imagine it beginning somewhere around 1950. The mechanical monk interrupts that completely. Stored energy, mechanical programming, coordinated multi-limb movement, bipedal locomotion. These concepts weren't invented in the age of computers, they were pioneered in Renaissance workshops by engineers with no electricity and no theoretical framework for what they were building. Turriano built his monk to fulfill a king's religious vow. He had no idea he was writing one of the earliest chapters in the history of robotics. A small wooden figure in Washington, D.C., still walking after 460 years, is proof of that. Deep inside one of Egypt's best-preserved temples, carved into a 2,000-year-old stone wall, is an image that has sparked one of archaeology's most heated debates. It shows what appears to be a large glass bulb. Inside, a serpent, stretched and glowing. A cable-like object connects to a box, resembling an electrical insulator. To many people, the conclusion feels immediate: the ancient Egyptians had electric light. To Egyptologists, that conclusion is equally immediate and equally wrong. The truth sits somewhere far more interesting. The temple is Hathor at Dendera, built around 54 BC. The carvings sit in small underground crypts, restricted ritual spaces, used only by priests. Starting in the late 20th century, a popular theory emerged. The oval shape is a glass bulb. The serpent is a glowing filament. The pillar is an electrical insulator. The box, a power source. The visual resemblance to a 19th century Crookes tube, a vacuum tube that produces glowing plasma, is genuinely striking. It's easy to see why the theory spread. But when examined against actual evidence, it collapses. The oval shape isn't a glass bulb, it's a lotus bud, one of the most documented symbols in all of Egyptian art, representing creation and the emergence of light from darkness. The serpent isn't a filament, it's Nehebko, the protective solar serpent that accompanies the sun god Ra through the underworld. It appears in dozens of other Egyptian compositions that have nothing to do with electricity. And most decisively, the hieroglyphic text carved right beside these images tells us exactly what they are: sacred ritual objects, religious diagrams, not engineering blueprints. There is no electrical vocabulary in the inscriptions because there was no electrical technology. The Dendera reliefs are a sophisticated visual representation of an Egyptian creation myth. The sun god emerging from a lotus, protected by the solar serpent, rendered in a symbolic language Egyptologists have spent 2 centuries learning to read. That's not a disappointing answer. The ancient Egyptians built the largest stone structures in human history. They developed one of the world's first writing systems. Their religious tradition is among the most complex ever created. They didn't need electric light to be extraordinary. They just needed to be who they were. And that was extraordinary enough.